Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping right into a pretty startling confrontation that recently took place between a major tech CEO, an entrepreneur, and an evolutionary biologist. They sat down to hash out the unprecedented scale of the AI revolution, and man, the warnings that came out of that room are something every single one of us needs to hear. We aren't just talking about a cool new software update, we're talking about a fundamental shift in human history happening literally right beneath our feet.
We're going to kick things off with a number that honestly captures the terrifying speed of the disruption we're about to face. 13 years. Just keep that exact time frame in the back of your mind as we look at a fascinating historical mini-story that entrepreneur Dan Priestley shared during their discussion.
Picture this: New York City in 1900. Every single vehicle on the street is a horse and cart. Now, horses had been absolutely essential to humanity for thousands of years, right? But just 13 short years later, a photo taken from the exact same vantage point shows something entirely different. Every single vehicle on the street is a car. In just over a decade, horses had been entirely wiped out of the economy, completely replaced.
You know, if you could have interviewed those horses in 1900, they would have told you they were completely indispensable. They had absolutely no idea they're about to be put out of business. So looking at the AI technology advancing today, Priestley asks this incredibly provocative question. Are we the horses in 1900?
Section 1. Are we the horses? Let's dive in and figure out exactly what makes this AI technology so vastly different from anything humanity has ever faced before. Evolutionary biologist Bret Weinstein brings a super interesting perspective to this. He warns that we aren't just building a fancy tool or a calculator, we're essentially watching the evolution of a new species. When you plug AI systems into each other, it creates this unpredictable cognitive web. He actually compares it to an Ethernet cable connecting minds, where the cognitive potential suddenly exceeds the sum of its parts. These systems are already smarter than their creators, and they're interacting in ways we can't even fully predict.
All right, Section 2, the tech empathy gap. Let's see how the tech elites building these systems are actually responding to this reality.
A lot of folks out there think AI is just coming for entry-level gigs. That is absolutely false. Even the highest status, highest paid jobs in America are incredibly vulnerable. Take anesthesiologists, for example. We could easily see a near future where just one human anesthesiologist supervises 40 different wards. 40. The AI handles the actual monitoring and medicating, and the human is basically just there on standby. And this brings us to a massive and frankly chilling empathy gap. We're talking about highly specialized professionals losing their lifelong identities and their livelihoods. When tech CEO Amjad was asked about these people during the sit-down, his response was literally just, maybe you should start saving. This perfectly highlights the core divide of our explainer. On one side, you have the optimistic tech CEO who completely trusts market forces and infinite opportunity. Juxtaposed against him is the biologist, warning of catastrophic harm and complex system collapse. Two very, very different views of the exact same technology.
Section 3. The collective action problem. So, if the risks are really this high, why don't we just slow down? Why not hit the brakes? Well, it's because we're stuck in a classic game theory trap called a collective action problem. Basically, two rival companies, or even rival superpowers, can't just hit the brakes on AI, because if you stop, your competitor doesn't. They just beat you to the punch. Any attempt at slowing down is basically self-sabotage. These relentless market dynamics are absolutely forcing the pace. You've got China's DeepSeek disrupting US markets literally overnight. You've got Meta open sourcing their Llama AI just to avoid relying on OpenAI, a classic commoditize your complement business strategy. The terrifying takeaway here? Nobody is actually in the driver's seat. The market forces demand that everyone pushes forward as fast as humanly possible.
Moving into our final section, Section 4, the coming human catastrophe. Let's talk about the real human cost of this runaway technological train.
People love to say, hey, we survived the Industrial Revolution, we'll survive this. But this is fundamentally different. In the past, technology phased out one industry at a time so society could adapt. But the sheer scale and speed of AI means every single industry is going to be impacted simultaneously, all at once. Say goodbye to the stable 45-year career arc. According to this discussion, we are entering a chaotic, high-velocity economy made up of 10 to 36-month micro-careers. Think about that. You invent something, launch a team, and almost immediately get disrupted by the next big AI update. It's just a constant cycle of disruption. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I'm good, I'll just learn a manual trade, don't fall for that illusion either. Plumbers and electricians aren't a safe haven. Humanoid robots imbued with advanced AI are progressing so fast they'll eventually be crawling into your crawl spaces to fix the plumbing too.
We're looking at a totally new value chain. Step 1, you have an idea. Step 2, AI agents instantly build the application for practically zero cost. So what's step 3? Distribution. In this new reality, having a built-in audience and a distribution network becomes the only true competitive moat left for human workers.
This massive, rapid displacement leads to a pretty horrifying scenario. Weinstein points out that when you have huge numbers of people suddenly out of work, the elites might begin to view the billions of people without AI skills as mere useless eaters. Yeah, it's a very dark, sobering thought about what happens when human beings lose their traditional economic value.
The folks building these systems, they're going to be fine. But what about everyone else? I want to leave you with this profound and urgent question to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. How on earth do we prepare and protect the billions of people who completely lack the skills, the education, or even the basic awareness to survive the biggest shift in human history? Because this storm is about to hit, whether we're ready for it or not.